Oh, we can. Yeah, sure.
No, we should. You know that.
Mayor, we're all set.
Audio's working?
Yeah.
You need Brian, finish, fix anything out?
My camera's blurry, but I can't.
Probably just hazy. So Ryan, Justin's finishing up something.
Big lecture today.
8 o'clock in the
Beth.
morning. Sitting there.
I mean, I think it's.
Sometimes I think I must make life.
Jack, you were ready.
Back that way then.
Jump. Good. Hey, call the public hearing to order. First order of business is a public hearing regarding proposed local law number 1 of 2026 of local law regulating high energy intensive uses, including cryptocurrency, mining operations, blockchain validation facilities, and large scale data centers. Before opening the public hearing, I will ask the Corporation Council to summarize the proposal, the proposal amendments that have been recommended, and the environmental review that has been undertaken. The amendment sheet, which Mr. Myers will discuss, was distributed to the council and made available to public prior to the hearing.
Members of the Common Council, before the public hearing is open, I would like to summarize the proposal, identify the materials that have been submitted for the legislative record, discuss the recommended amendments, and address the environmental review process. I ask that the following documents be received and incorporated into the legislative record. And I will state that each of these documents has been made available to the public and has been sitting out for the public to take since approximately 4:30 today. The items are proposed local law number 1 of 2026 as originally introduced, amendment sheet, the final amended local law, the Clinton County Planning Board determination, the short form environmental action form parts 1 through 3, legislative findings memorandum written to the council, an amendment memorandum written to the council, correspondence from attorney John Crane dated June 15th, 2026, a red line version of the local law, a seeker memorandum written to the council, and correspondence from attorney John Crane dated June 17th, 2026. The purpose of this local law is to establish standards applicable to future high energy intensive uses and future increases in electrical demand within the city of Plattsburgh. The city operates a municipal electric utility system and recognizes that municipal electric resources constitute a finite public asset. Consideration of infrastructure impacts economic activity, employment generation, community benefit, and long-term planning objectives, which are appropriate governmental concerns when evaluating future large-scale consumption of municipal electric resources. I want to emphasize several points that are important to the legislative record. This law does not regulate utility service. This local law does not establish utility rates. This local law does not amend utility tariffs. This local law does not regulate billing practices. This local law does not regulate deposits or security requirements except as otherwise permitted under applicable law. This local law does not regulate utility disconnections. This local law does not authorize termination, suspension, or limitation of electrical service except as otherwise permitted by applicable tariffs, utility regulations, and existing utility authority. Rather, this local law is a land use and economic development measure intended to address future high energy intensive uses and future increases in electrical demand. The fact that land use consumes substantial amounts of electricity does not transform this local law into a utility regulation. This local law addresses future land uses, future development, and future allocation of finite municipal resources. This local law is prospective in nature and directed towards future development and future increases in electrical demand. The city has received comments regarding this proposed law, including correspondence from attorney John Crane dated June 15th, 2026, and correspondence from attorney John Crane dated June 17th, 2026. After reviewing those comments, I have recommended several amendments intended to narrow the law, clarify the city's intent, preserve existing lawful operations, and strengthen the legislative record. Among other things, the proposed amendments expressly grandfather existing lawful operations, clarify that routine maintenance and equipment replacement do not constitute expansion, clarify that the law operates prospectively, narrow the aggregation provisions, clarify the relationship between the local law and utility operations, remove language concerning limitation of electrical service, add legislative findings, and address address administrative issues relating to codification of the local law. The recommended amendments are intended to clarify, not expand the scope of the local law. Thank you.
Moving again to the public hearing concerning proposed local law P1 of 2026, a local law regulating high energy intensive uses, including cryptocurrency, mining operations, blockchain validation facilities, and large-scale data centers. Notice of this public hearing has been duly published. The proposed local law was referred to the Clinton County Planning Board pursuant to General Municipal Law, Section 239-M. Prior to commencement of this hearing, a written amendment sheet was distributed to the Common Council and made available to the public. I now open the public hearing. I will first acknowledge that the correspondence dated June 15th and 17th was received from attorney John Crane of the law firm Whiteman, Osterman, and Hanna LLP as attorneys for Main Mill Investments LLC. That correspondence is hereby made part of the record of this public hearing. Mrs. Carlin, would you please take all steps necessary to ensure that occurs? Any person wishing to be heard may approach the podium. You must state your name and address for the record and direct comments to the Common Council. Comments are admitted to 5 minutes each. First is Mr. Mark Schneider. Can I get a motion to open? Councilor Bond, second Councilor Manette. Roll call.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Counselor Strack.
Yes.
Counselor Talon.
Yes.
Counselor Manette.
Yes.
Counselor Cohen. Yes.
Mark Schneider.
Wasn't aware that there were some amendments, but my one concern is, as an employer, is there any quarterly, monthly, annual review of employees' documentation that they're actually meeting the 6 or 12 full-time equivalents? And are their job duties specified? Could I set up a data center and have 5 people doing some trivial call center duties to meet my full-time employment requirement, not directly related to the business? As a business owner during COVID, I remember when we had to maintain employment, I had to really get creative. Some of you all know, go to Vermont and work full time for me. Emma, just to help meet our COVID requirements. I'm gonna operate a business in Plattsburgh. I know you want to increase employment. But if I'm paying somebody minimum wage, 30 hours a week to sit on the telephone with those people, is that going to sneak under the regulation? But that's my concern. I don't see a lot of addressing the actual components of it. It has to be an on-site within the city of Plattsburgh. But then after that, it seems to be a free program. So that's my main concern.
Okay, thank you. Jack Boma.
My name is Jack Beaumont. I live in 3 Palmer Street in Plattsburgh. I wanted to come as a citizen because I didn't know whether there'd be any representation. So I just wanted to, I read through the bill and what I can see, I support it. Probably there could be more. I'm concerned about environmental impacts. I'm concerned about things like eventually will there be rate changes for the citizens in Plattsburgh because these data centers suck up so much electricity that, and there's no limit on, you know, they always pass that along to the ratepayers, not these data center people. So that's my concern, and if these issues are addressed, then I'm okay with it.
Thank you, sir. Sue Baker.
Good evening, to Baker. I live at 20 Adirondack Lane, Plattsburgh, across the river from the Bitcoin place. My concern is, when you're talking about environmental issues and things coming across, I have a vibration in my house 24/7 from this thing. This morning I got up and went in back of my backyard, and the amount of noise coming out of that building was crazy. I have more soot on that side of my house than any other from this. So when you're looking at having people come, granted, they're hiring people and that's wonderful, but what kind of environmental aspects are we getting? And a lot of times we don't know that. So I think we really need to look at that and say, what can we do to make things better?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cecilia Hoffman.
I'm Cecilia Huffman, 104 Bridge Street. I just was reading that it seems to deal primarily with electricity. And I'm concerned also with water, because that's a huge part of this. I am concerned, as the last speaker is, with vibrations, with sound, and often we're not listening, we're not considering sound as being an environmental degradation. And if you're considering placing one of these huge buildings, which you usually are, where in the city are you putting it? Because I certainly don't want it within the city. So I'm glad that's being looked at. I'm glad that you're finding, you know, information regarding the electricity, and because it certainly is a part. But the water issue is huge. And the noise, the vibration that this woman is speaking about, everything that I've read or listened to is enormous. So I'm honestly against having any data center in the city, but I think those need to be looked at.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Carlo Brancato.
I'm going to decline to comment.
You sure? Okay, then I have Ryan Branson.
Ryan Brianza, 46 Power Dam Way. I just wanted to put on the record that my attorney had prepared and sent over correspondence prior to this hearing, and would just like that to be on the record.
Okay. Anyone else for public hearing that didn't get a chance to sign? No other public hearing, no other public comment for the hearing? With no further public comment, I will close the public portion of the hearing. I will entertain a motion to close the public hearing. Councilor Manette, Councilor Colleen. Roll call.
Counselor Bond,
Yes.
Counselor Strack,
Yes.
Counselor Talon.
Yes.
Counselor Net,
Yes.
Counselor Colleen. Yes.
Now we will go right into our regular common council meeting. Please rise and join me. Well, I'll let my mayor for the day lead us in the pledge of allegiance. I should have told you about it, right? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do the roll.
Mayor Hughes,
Here.
Counselor Bond,
Here.
Counselor Evans, Counselor Strack,
Here.
Counselor Talon.
Here.
Counselor Manette,
Here.
Counselor Colleen. Here. Resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of the common council held on June 4th, 2026 are approved and placed on file among the public records of the city clerk's office.
Entertain a motion. Councilor Manette, second. Councilor Colleen. Roll call.
Counselor Bond,
Yes.
Counselor Strack,
Yes.
Counselor Talon.
Yes.
Counselor Manette,
Yes.
Counselor Colleen. Yes. Carried.
Any public comment this evening on agenda items? For any agenda items this evening? State your name and address to the record.
Hi, Senator Collins, 16 Center Avenue. I'm just, my comment is not necessarily about the local law or the public hearing, but the timing of it. It looks like it's on the agenda for tonight. Please correct me if I'm wrong. If the public hearing is to get public input, this doesn't seem like a particularly efficient way to get public input because if you are asked to vote on it now, it's not really meaningful because people came here, they gave you input, and then you're being asked to vote on it the next few minutes. So I would ask that you consider the timing of a public hearing if you're looking for meaningful public participation moving forward. Because frankly, if I was giving input on something, I would feel like it's a waste of time because it's just taking time.
Any other public comment this evening? For agenda items? With no further public comment, we will move on.
There is no correspondence or recommendations from special committees. The council approved the payrolls of the various departments of the city of Plattsburgh for the week ending June 17th, 2026 in the amount of $596,459.63. Council approved the bills audited by the common council for the weeks ending June 12th, 2026 in the amount of $2,014,302.87 and June 19th, 2026 in the amount of $914,319.94.
Any liaison reports?
Yeah, I have, a couple, for the Plattsburgh Public Library Liaison Report, they had, a rescheduled meeting because there was no quorum for the May meeting, so they had it on, June 9th at 4:30. It's a good meeting, and our next meeting is probably going to be June 28th at 4, or July 20th, thank you, you corrected me before, July 28th at 4:30. And also there's a couple of announcements for the library, the sign up for the library newsletter, is available now, so you can send an email to pplinfo@cityofplattsburgh-ny.gov. Also, the summer reading program sign up starts on June 22nd, and this summer they are going to be launching an adult reading challenge that will begin July 1st. So that's the library. And now for our Climate Smart Task Force, there are some people representing at the Peter Blumet Parks Come Alive, so that was fun. Good to see them there. Our June meeting is going to be June 24th at 5:15 at the Naked Turtle. So hey, if you want to check us out, come on, join us at the Naked Turtle and we'll have a little talk. Let you know what's going on. And we are still waiting on information regarding the collection. So
Okay.
once we find out when that's happening, then we can get closer to rolling out that Food Scraps collection program. And that's it.
Ms. Carlin?
Ready?
Yep.
Item 7.110, adoption of local law P-1 of 2026. A local law regulating high energy intensive uses including cryptocurrency mining operations, blockchain validation facilities, and large scale data centers. This local law shall take effect immediately upon approval by the mayor and filing with the New York Secretary of State. The entire text of which has been distributed to and read by the members of the Common Council is hereby enacted without the reading thereof, and a copy of said local law is made part of the minutes of this meeting.
Before proceeding further, I will ask Corporation Counsel to summarize the comments received and the proposed amendments before the council.
Thank you, Mayor. For the record, the Common Council has received written comments regarding the proposed local law, including correspondence submitted by Attorney John E. Crane on behalf of Main Mill Street Investments. Correspondence were received dated June 15th of 2026 and June 17th of 2026 from Mr. Crane. The council has reviewed those comments and considered the issues raised therein. As a result of the comments received, I have recommended amendments to the proposed local law that are intended to narrow its application, clarify legislative intent, preserve existing lawful operations, and strengthen the legislative record supporting the city's action. Among other things, the amendments expressly grandfather existing lawful operations, clarify that routine maintenance, modernization, and replacement of equipment do not constitute expansion, clarify that the local law operates prospectively, narrow the aggregation provisions, remove language relating to limitation of electrical service, clarify that utility service remains governed by applicable tariffs, utility regulations, and lawful utility practices, and expand the legislative findings supporting the adoption of the local law. The council is not required to agree with every argument presented in the opposition to the proposed local law. The council is, however, obligated to consider those comments and determine whether the proposed local law advances legitimate governmental objectives. In my opinion, the proposed amendments address many of the concerns raised during the review process while preserving the core objectives of the legislation. The proposed amendments narrow the local law. They do not expand it. The proposed amendments preserve existing lawful operations. They do not create new restrictions upon lawful operations. The proposed amendments make clear that the local law is intended to operate prospectively with respect to future high energy intensive uses and future increases in electrical demand. The Common Council further recognizes that it could have elected to prohibit certain high energy intensive uses, impose a moratorium, or adopt more restrictive regulations. Instead, the council has elected to adopt a prospective regulatory framework that permits future development while requiring that future consumption of municipal electrical resources be accompanied by corresponding economic and community benefits. For the record, the proposed local law was referred to the Clinton County Planning Board pursuant to General Municipal Law 239-M. On June 3rd, the Clinton County Planning Board unanimously determined that the proposal constituted a local issue, and they did not recommend modification or disapproval. The Common Council may properly consider this determination as part of its legislative record. And Mrs. Carlin, I would ask that the legislative record materials as well as the June 17th, 2026 correspondence of Attorney John Crane be made part of the record. Thank you.
The council will now consider the proposed amendments before proceeding further. Is there a motion to adopt the proposed amendments to local law P-1 2026? Councilor Vaughn, second. Councilor Manette. Roll call.
Counselor Vaughn?
Yes.
Counselor Strack?
Yes.
Counselor Talon?
Yes.
Counselor Manette?
Yes.
Counselor Colleen? Yes. Carried.
The amendment sheet is adopted, being incorporated into the proposed local law. For purposes of all further proceedings this evening, references to local law number 1 of 2026 shall mean local law number 1 of 2026 as amended. The secret review. The council must now complete environmental review pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act.
Mayor, the council must now complete environmental review pursuant to State Environmental Quality Review Act. The proposed action consists of the adoption of local law number 1 of 2026 as amended. The council has received the proposed local law, the amendment sheet, the short environmental assessment form, public comments received during the public hearing, written comments submitted by interested parties, specifically a June 15th and June 17th, 2026 correspondence from attorney John Crane, the Clinton County Planning Board referral and determination, the legislative memoranda submitted for the record. The council has also identified the action as an unlisted action pursuant to seeker. The council has reviewed and considered the potential environmental impacts of the proposed action. The council has considered land use impact, infrastructure impacts, utility impacts, community character, transportation, noise, air quality, public services, and all other factors identified in 6 NYCRR section 617.7. Council further recognizes that this local law does not authorize any particular project, facility, building, site disturbance, utility connection, infrastructure update, or construction activity. The council further finds that adoption of this local law standing alone does not commit the city to any future project, expenditure, infrastructure expansion, utility improvement, or developmental approval. Any future project subject to this local law will remain subject to all otherwise applicable environmental review, permitting, zoning, site plan, utility, and regulatory requirements. Future projects remain subject to all otherwise applicable approvals, reviews, permits, and environmental review requirements. Council further finds that adoption of this local law will not result in any significant adverse environmental impact. I therefore recommend the adoption of a negative declaration.
Is there a motion to adopt the State Environmental Quality Review Act negative declaration? Counselor Bond, second. Counselor Manette. Roll call.
Counselor Bond.
Yes.
Counselor Strack.
Yes.
Counselor Talon.
Yes.
Counselor Net.
Yes.
Counselor Colleen. Yes. Carried.
Introduction of local law for adoption. The matter is now before the Common Council for consideration of local law P-1 of 2026 as amended. I will now turn to Corporation Council.
Before final action, I recommend that the following findings be entered into the legislative record. The Common Council finds that municipal electrical resources constitute a finite public asset held for the benefit of the residents and businesses of the city of Plattsburgh. The Common Council further finds that concerns regarding large-scale electrical consumption, infrastructure capacity, resource allocation, and community impacts have recently been recognized by the New York State Legislature and are legitimate matters of public policy. The Common Council further finds that utility regulation and land use regulation serve different governmental purposes and that nothing in this local law is intended to alter, replace, supplement, regulate, or conflict with any applicable tariff, utility regulation, rate schedule, service classification, or lawful utility practice. The Common Council finds that the city of Plattsburgh has a legitimate governmental interest in protecting municipal infrastructure, planning for future electrical demand, encouraging employment generating economic activity, promoting community benefit, and preserving opportunities for future residential, commercial, governmental, educational, and industrial development, and ensuring that finite municipal electric resources remain available to support the long-term needs of city residents and businesses. The Common Council further finds that existing employers, businesses, institutions, and residents rely upon the availability of municipal electric resources, and that the city has a legitimate interest in ensuring that future high-energy intensive uses do not consume substantial municipal resources without providing corresponding economic and community benefits. The Common Council finds that that existing lawful operations should be permitted to continue, and that the local law is intended to operate prospectively with respect to future high energy intensive uses and future increases in electrical demand. The Common Council finds that this local law is a land use and economic development regulation. The Common Council further finds that this local law does not regulate utility service. The Common Council further finds that this local law does not establish utility rates. The Common Council further finds that this local law does not establish utility tariffs. The Common Council further finds that this local law does not regulate utility billing practices. The Common Council further finds that this local law does not regulate utility disconnections. The Common Council further finds that utility service remains governed by applicable tariffs, utility regulations, and lawful utility practices. The Common Council further finds that the existence of utility tariffs and utility regulations does not prevent the city of Plattsburgh from adopting reasonable land use regulations governing future development. The Common Council further finds that the consumption of electricity by a particular land use does not transform a land use regulation into a utility regulation. The Common Council finds that the amendments adopted this evening address concerns raised during the public review process, and the council has carefully considered the written and oral comments submitted regarding the proposed local law. The Common Council finds that amendments adopted this evening preserve existing lawful operations, narrow the applications of the local law, and clarify the intent of the Common Council. The Common Council finds that the local law represents a measured and balanced approach that limits future high energy intensive development within the city of Plattsburgh, while ensuring that future consumption of finite municipal electric resource is accompanied by the corresponding economic and community benefits. Common Council finds that adoption of local law number 1 of 2026 as amended advances legitimate governmental interests relating to infrastructure protection, municipal planning, economic opportunity, workforce development, and the general welfare of the city of Plattsburgh. Based upon the record before the council, including the proposed local law, the amendment sheet, the short environmental assessment form, the county planning board determination, the written comments received, the public hearing testimony, the legislative findings entered this evening, it is my opinion that the record before the Common Council contains a rational basis for adoption of local law number 1 of 2026 as amended, and demonstrates legitimate governmental interest supporting the proposed legislation.
Good.
Yep.
Is there a motion to adopt local law P1 of 2026 as amended? Councilor Ball, second, Councilor Manette. Roll call.
Is there any discussion?
Oh, any discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Bond,
Yes.
Counselor Strack,
Yes.
Counselor Talon.
Yes.
Counselor Manette,
Yes.
Counselor Colleen,
Yes.
carried. Item 7,
City, wait,
sorry.
local law P1 2026 as amended is adopted. The city clerk is directed to incorporate all adopted amendments into the final text of the local law. File the local law with the New York Secretary of State, publish any notices required by law, maintain all hearing materials, written submissions, amendments, sheets, secret documents, county referral materials, and legislative findings as part of the official legislative record. Now we can go on.
Item 7.11 authorize fire department lease agreement postage mail system, Pitney Bowes.
Moved by Counselor Bond, second. Counselor Manette. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Bond,
Yes.
Counselor Strack,
Yes.
Counselor Talon.
Yes.
Counselor Manette,
Yes.
Counselor Colleen,
Yes.
carried. Item 7112 travel request, fire department.
Moved by Counselor Bond, second. Counselor Colleen. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Bond,
Yes.
Counselor Strack,
Yes.
Counselor Talon.
Yes.
Counselor Manette,
Yes.
Counselor Colleen,
Yes.
carried. Item 7.113 authorize the mayor to sign benefit change form with ProAct Omada Health Group GLP-1 support program.
Moved by Counselor Colleen, second. Counselor Bond. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Bond,
Yes.
Counselor Strack,
Yes.
Counselor Talon.
Yes.
Counselor Manette,
Yes.
Counselor Colleen,
Yes.
carried. Item 7.114 mayoral appointment, Plattsburgh Housing Authority Board of Commissioners.
Moved by Counselor Colleen, second. Counselor Manette. Roll call.
Counselor Bond,
Yes.
Counselor Strack,
Yes.
Counselor Talon.
Yes.
Counselor Manette,
Yes.
Counselor Colleen,
Yes.
carried. Item 7.115 authorize reimbursement, police department.
Moved by Counselor Bond, second. Counselor Colleen. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Bond,
Yes.
Counselor Strack,
Yes.
Counselor Talon.
Yes.
Counselor Manette,
Yes.
Counselor Colleen,
Yes.
carried.
Any new business to come before the council this evening? With no new business, I have no reason for an executive session. Nobody else? Any public comment this evening on any other topic other than agenda items? No more public comment? With no further public comment, I will entertain Counselor Bond. Counselor Manette. Roll call.
Counselor Bond,
Yes.
Counselor Strack,
Yes.
Counselor Talon.
Yes.
Counselor Manette,
Yes.
Counselor Colleen, yes, carried.
Thank you.